good, Travel Hour family? We are back here for season 2, episode 1, and we have got a great lineup for y'all today. Today, we're going to talk about getting married in Tulum. So we got the Thomases with us today. They're going to be joining us shortly, and super excited to talk about it. But before we hop in, I'm your boy Joc, and I have my co-host with me, MP. MP, say what's up to the people.
What's good, everybody? What's good, Travel Hour fam? Listen, thank y'all for joining us again for another episode. We are definitely excited about what we're going to talk about today. We got some gems in store for y'all, so please listen to the whole thing, watch the whole thing, and don't forget to follow us and subscribe and give us a thumbs up, all the good things, right? But so we got some good things coming up. Today's episode is going to be fire. Of course, it's the Travel Hour. We wouldn't expect anything less. But, Joc, how's everything going on your way?
Everything is going good. I'm having a good week. We got a holiday weekend, so looking forward to this long weekend. I ain't going to say that I got some great plans lined up, but I'm going to definitely be on that couch. I know that new episode of, what's my show, man? Snowfall just dropped yesterday, so I gotta see what's going on.
For sure.
Yeah. So what you got going on? Any plans this weekend?
No plans this weekend. Eventually, same old. I'm probably going to rest. I was considering maybe going to church sometime tonight, but it's looking very not in my future. So I'll probably just rest, hang out, celebrate, Easter, whatnot, go to church on Sunday, the same old.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes less is more,
For sure. Rest is key too.
Gotcha. So look, we'll move right into it. We got to talk about what in the world is going on, right? So we got some things we need to address, and we gonna jump right into it, right? So I'm in Houston. As you know, we just hosted the Final Four. The city was lit. It was a great time. I actually tried to go to the game, but my tickets, that situation didn't work out. And it just didn't work out. So I still got to be in the city amongst the number, as they would say, and so I enjoyed myself. But when we talk about the Final Four, right up the road in Dallas, we had saw LSU basketball team win. And so shout out to the LSU women's basketball team. Shout out to Angel Reese and her teammates because they did the damn thing, right? So this black woman got up there and won the national basketball championship on the biggest stage in college athletics, right? And so she did it her way. She did it respectfully. She did it gracefully, and people still had something to say.
Sure.
So if you're not sure, it was crazy that I was on Instagram scrolling through one night, right? And there's a girl named Caitlin Clark from the Iowa women's basketball team. Now, let me tell you this. Iowa's basketball team starting 5 is all white women. The coach is white, and we know Iowa University is a major PWI. Cool. I don't know how you think you're going to win a championship with no black people in your starting lineup, but God bless. Anyways, as we look at it, right, Caitlin Clark, she's a hell of a basketball player. She did win Player of the Year. She took our team to the Final Four, into the national championship as well. Did a lot of great things, and the girl can flat out shoot, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing was that she got a little mouthpiece on her. So during one of the games against Louisville, she actually wanted to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like by 15 points. And I'm just looking like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing about this. So fast forward, this is when she starts doing like the little y'all can't see me stuff like that, right? So I'm like, oh, cool. So everybody's like, yeah, Caitlin Clark, she's just this fierce competitor. Like she just does everything right. She's this and that. Like she's like the female Steph Curry, all this. I'm like, cool, like she can shoot. She's great. But I was like, that was low-key disrespectful what she did. So fast forward to the national championship game, the ladies of LSU already remember what was going on. And they heard about what was happening, right? And so during the game, when Angel Reese saw that they was about to win that thing, and she went like this, like, yeah, you can't see me.
Right.
Now it became a problem, right? And so social media went up into an uproar, talking about like how we're unclassy. She can be ghetto. She can be aggressive, right? And so a lot of times we see these stories play out where it's like, hey, like black women on the largest stage in college athletics, right? You win a national championship, and yet it's still so much scrutiny.
It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Because we already know as people of color, right? And then also her being a black woman, she probably had to work twice as hard to get where she is. And now to have that double standard, right, where it's acceptable for this one person to do it, but it's not acceptable for the other party to do it. It's like that never-ending conundrum, like, right? Like, it's sad that we are in the year of 2023 and we still got to deal with issues like this, right? We still got to deal with people just being, blatant racist, right? Or, discriminating against a person because of their color, right? Whatever the case may be, we can't, say it's okay when one person do it and then not okay when the next person do it, right? However you feel, whether you feel both of them was wrong, both of them was right, one was wrong, one was right. At the end of the day, we got to stop the double standard. You got to stop the double standard.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And to add insult into injury, because I think it goes back to like how we, as like for me, like as a black person, when I show up in certain spaces, right? It's almost like we got to think about things that other people just simply not to think about, right? Like what my hair look like today walking into this space. Like, what does it look like if I say this? Because I know if I say this, it'll be deemed aggressive. But if my colleague over here say it, it's like, oh yeah, we see what you're saying, right? And so I think that's super important that like I'm glad that Angel Reese, first of all, took a stand and made a statement and was like, yo, this is me. I was a competitor. I didn't disrespect anybody. And this is where it's at. And I'm glad that people are like really just rallying around her, right? Because we got to get rid of that. And, Jill Biden, you got another thing coming. I'm glad you walked your statement back, boo. But the winner gets invited to the White House, Jill. The winner, not the runner up. So you trying to invite Iowa talking about Title IX. Baby, if you want to celebrate Title IX, give all women college basketball teams some money or something because we're not going to break tradition now because it look a little different, right?
She just did everybody's a winner in my book. That's what she did. But that ain't what we're doing.
Look, it goes back to the women's suffrage movement when black women showed up to go march with the white women and they told Delta Sigma Theta to get in the back. It goes back to like voting rights when they was like, hey, like, we're marching for women to get the right to vote, but black women got the right to vote 50 years after white women, right?
Right.
So it's like let's talk a little equity, Jill. You know what I'm saying? And like I think that's super important that no matter what side of the spectrum you fall on, how you show up is super important because you got to be cognizant of this stuff when you come into the place, right?
For sure.
Or you cause issues like this, right? So I'm glad that what I'm saying I am glad that it happened. I'm glad that I'm more glad that it was actually addressed. So. Shout out to Angel Reese, and also shout out to Caitlin Clark for a hell of a season. They both led their teams to the national championship and did a great job.
Yes, sir.
Now, Matt, we gotta talk about a couple of things, yo. I know you just recently got your passport last year, and I got some homies applying for passports. But if you have not got you said what?
I said we got it renewed.
Yeah. You gotta get that thing renewed. So either you're getting it renewed, or if you're getting a brand new passport to get outside. Please go ahead and hop on that ASAP, and you might want to get a rush service because right now the passport office is expecting delays. This process can take up to several months now. And so right now they're just backed up. They're super inundated. And so anybody knows when you deal with the government, like they take forever. They take their good old time. So if you plan on getting a passport or you need to get it renewed, do not wait. Like if you're within that year, you might want to go ahead and get it renewed because you can't fly out with most countries without it being about to expire within the next 6 months anyways.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with everything you just said, right? Don't wait to the last minute, or you're going to be like me last year, waiting to the last minute, having to pay double the money to get your passport expedited. And even that's still not a guarantee that you'll receive it on time, right? So when you look in your passport, that's if you're trying to get it renewed. If you're trying to buy a passport for the first time too, do it as early out. Don't wait. You got a trip booked for June and you wait till May to try to apply and get a passport because it may not work like that, right? They're backed up. There's really only like one central hub that you can get your passport from. There are some other exceptions where you can get the same day, but all that costs a lot of money, right? The more the quicker you want it, the more you're gonna pay. So if you know you got a trip coming up, you need a passport renewed, whatever the case may be, go ahead and be proactive. Go ahead. Don't wait to the last minute because they are, experiencing delays, right? And it's been like that ever since COVID started. So it's just getting a little worse now that outside is back open. People are now, more people, the demand is back up. It's way higher because you got people who let their passports expire during the pandemic. You got people who, never had one. And so the demand is very high. So yeah, please be proactive.
Definitely. So we talked about what's going on in the world, but I'm excited. I don't know about you, MP, but I'm really excited to go ahead and bring our guest on. We you know what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna steal their thunder by, you know what I'm saying, talking about what they do. I'm gonna let them talk to y'all. But
For sure.
without further ado, we're gonna bring the Thomases on.
Come on.
And talk a little bit.
Hey. What's going on, Camp Folk?
What's good?
People.
How are you all doing?
Good. Tired. Wish we was on a destination trip.
Yeah, we're doing good. Tired. Definitely wish we was on a destination trip. I mean, I want to start off by just commending y'all on this the show y'all got going. Man, we already subscribed. Well, Tasha and I both subscribed to y'all to our YouTube channel while y'all were talking. But yeah, man, this is dope, man. I like the energy y'all putting behind it, man.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. We definitely appreciate you all taking the time out of your schedule to come and chop it up with us. But before we go any further, listen, can y'all do us a favor? Can you let the Wandering Gang, the Travelhourljm fam, know who y'all are?
Okay. Well, I am Troy Thomas, director, do a lot of weddings. And I'd say director of cinematography, do a lot of weddings. A lot of video, digital work. And that's just pretty much what I do as far as work. Also, husband to this beautiful lady, a father, and try to be somewhat of, I won't say activist, but involved in my community as well, however I can. Not just here, but when I could do stuff home in Burlington as well to help my grandma out with things that she's doing with the NAACP. You know, I just like to be involved as much as I can. So that's who I am.
So that's who I am.
Yeah, I'll let Tasha introduce herself. She does a lot of cool stuff as well. A lot of dope stuff.
I'm Tasha, and I am a psychotherapist. I am a business owner of a fitness business, online coach for all your fitness needs, mental and physical, all across the board. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a lot of things. I'm a jokester. I like to laugh. I like to travel when the work is done, but still try to balance. And I'm glad to be here to talk about our story and our experience.
Dope.
Definitely. We glad to have y'all. And one of the things that came up, because, you know, it's awesome to see like your friends grow up, because, you know, sometimes I don't think I'm an adult. Some days I wake up and like, dang, this is what 32 feel like. But
right.
Talking to friends, I'll be like, yeah, like we talking about bills and mortgages and kids and weddings, and you know, you're like, yeah, I'm an adult. But one of the things that came across, and one of the things that we have had the opportunity to watch y'all do, is not only be, you know, this unit and, you know, raising your daughter and also being married, and you're also entrepreneurs as well. And so I think that is super dope. Definitely want to give y'all a chance to go shout out y'all businesses, you know what I'm saying, while y'all on here as well, to let the people know to tap in as well.
For sure. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I almost did a little Greek joke in there, but yeah, I'll go first. But my business is Thomas Photography and Film LLC. Like I said, really big in the wedding industry as well as commercial projects, and also have my first film out on Amazon and Tubi. Y'all can stream that. It's called Trap. We are approaching our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's good, dope.
Yeah, so and we got more films that are in film festivals this year, and hopefully have released sometime early 2024 for like public viewing. But yeah, that's my business information.
My business is Spunky Vigiletics LLC. Instagram, Spunky Vigiletics _LLC. Same thing for Facebook, or you just type it in Google. You know, it should pop up. We doing a little something. But it is I primarily coach women between the ages of 25 and 40. I boss women, my mothers, just people who are looking to sustain their fitness journey and their weight, whether they're trying to lose weight, gain weight, maintain, literally incorporating, you know, the mental health perspective and how the mental and the physical coincide, and how we need our mental health in order to make sure that we can keep up our fitness and our physical health. So that's what I do. I'm an online coach.
Dope. We love to hear it.
And she don't discriminate in age either. She got, I mean, even older people that take her classes on, they be keeping up. It'd be, you know, it's hard the first 2 classes probably, but the results, y'all gotta go check out her results for her clients. You know, I'll be looking at like, dang man, they put that work in, like completely different sizes.
Yeah, they're working.
We're
using the app now. Yeah. I don't really do too many classes, like as far as online anymore, but everything is through my app now. So right at your fingertips, you literally can work out with me anywhere. And I create custom plans one-on-one, and I have group coaching as well.
Yes, and if y'all need, if y'all got ladies out there that need that active wear, that gear, she just released a new bodysuit.
Sports bra.
It fit the body well.
Listen, Troy, you better promote your wife. Come on, you better promote her. Listen, he said, "I'm not going to the doghouse." No.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So she got some good bodies. They look good. I think she got 2 colors or 3 colors right now. You know, hopefully she may be diving into like that rainbow highlighter color sometime soon. But what she got right now is definitely almost sold out too in like less than a week. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely got to pick her up on that.
Dope. That's dope. And we'll be sure to link all their information, their socials and everything below in the description. Yeah, so we definitely dope to have y'all. Definitely proud of you all and the strides that you are making professionally and individually and collectively as a unit. We also want to let our fam know that we know Tasha and Troy because we are all graduates of the Shaw University. 2 classes for the U, 2 classes for the U. And so we are living examples, right? That greatness comes out of East South Street, right? Say that one more time.
South Side,
yes, sir.
We still on the South Side.
And so we, Joc and I have been very intentional about making sure that we, our guests, that we highlight, persons who went to school with us, persons who graduated from HBCUs, because we want to, as we amplify the space of Black people in the Black travel space, right, or amplify the voice, we want to make sure that we also have the representation, right? And so, yeah, we all know each other from Shaw University. Troy, Joc, and I are all members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. We're all line brothers, and we just celebrated 9 years yesterday, April 6th. So shout out to the league. And Tasha is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I believe her line just celebrated 12 years?
No, 11 years.
11 years. So
I'm trying to push it. You're pushing it.
She said, "Don't take it too fast. Don't take it too fast."
I ain't nobody, bro. Be careful.
But we also want to wish a happy Delta anniversary to her and her line sisters as well. Yeah. So, Joc, let's go ahead and get into our conversation about married in Tulum, all the things. But I think, yeah. So the first thing, let's back up a little bit, just to kind of talk about how you all met. We know the Shaw, but beyond the Shaw piece, how you all met and how did this relationship form and come to be what it is today.
Keep it short.
Yeah.
Give us the cliff notes.
I think I got it. No. Okay. So in a short perfect world, I knew who she was, familiar with her, just because I've seen her around. But of course, it would be no reason for us to speak at the time. Mm-hmm. But I used to see her on Paris' story all the time, and I would try to shoot my shot to Paris DM, and she'd be like, "Why don't you just hit her up and stuff?" So I did that, but Paris kind of threw me that first alley to come over to be able to meet Tasha at their old apartment. And, we kicked it, and we had a good convo, and we just always remained friends up until I got back from New Orleans in 2019. Sorry. Yeah, 2019. And I was just on that plane ride back, man. And I was 20. I had just turned 26 while I was out there doing some work. And I was just thinking about my life for the next 4 years. And I was like, man, I want to get married, have kids, do all these things. But I can't just wait till 30 if I want to be married and have kids by 30. And, Tasha has just always been on my radar. And I think I was just at that point, just very intentional. So coming back, first thing I did was call her, and just ask her if she could meet me at Sushi Blues, and I just
Shout out to Sushi Blues.
Yeah, they got some good sushi, man. And I looked her straight in the eyes, and I just was just very like what my plan was. I was very intentional, and I wanted to just court her properly. It wasn't even like we just jumped into boyfriend and girlfriend, but I was just like, I would like to court you. And if you got somebody, got a little somebody, I ain't trying to press the issue, and I'll fall back. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But that's how much I respected her. Even if she did have somebody, I just wanted to be clear that I ain't just trying to be a friend. I do see something that could really take off from here. And she took a second and said, okay, and she allowed me to court her, and we hung out for her birthday, and I would say like after that, shortly, we decided to make it official, and that's my short version. But yeah, I would say that it was always just like, just remaining cool, remaining friends. Like I just always tried to keep her in mind as much as possible while I was working on myself, to make sure that when I did ask her out or to ask her to take me serious, that she knew that that I wasn't playing. So, it's just but I would say that we definitely started off as friends, and our friends, even though there's like a gap, our friends are all connected because we all like hung out with the same people through the lineage. You know what I mean? So it just always just seemed natural. It wasn't forced or nothing. It just seemed like a natural fit.
Bet for sure.
Story.
That's good, right? I've been working.
Hey, mess this up.
No, I ain't missing that.
So yeah, everybody, and that's dope. So you all came to Shaw, you met at Shaw, but it was the timing, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think timing is so important as we look at things and everything like that. And so as we move through it, you had COVID happen, we had a pandemic, the world shut down. And even when I'm looking at folks like my sister got married like during the pandemic, and she had to like push her wedding back like a year, and it was just a lot of stuff going on, and it was a lot of uncertainty, right? And so as those things were going on and things were changing, we come back to where like last year was like really like the first year like everything just opened back up. We was back outside. Things started to seem like how it was before the pandemic. And so during that time, I know that we was sitting in California. We was in LA. We was in Long Beach. And we were sitting up chopping it up. And I was visiting Matt. I'm like, bro, like we know like Troy about to get married. He's like, he put us on notice. He's like, yo, like it's coming anytime now. Like, y'all know, like, what's up? I'm gonna give y'all the details. Like, even before you got engaged, he was like, yeah, bro, like it's about that time. So I think we were sitting on a Zoom call actually, bro, during the pandemic, and we was giving like updates on the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And everybody's talking about different stuff. He like, yeah, bro, like don't tell nobody, but I'm about to pop the question. Like, all right,
pop that thing.
So he like, bet. So I was like, yeah, it's covered. And so we ended up in LA later that year, and I remember talking to the fellas, and then we were like, hey, like Troy's getting married next year. It's time to get ready. And so I remember when Troy hit us back and was like, yo, like, we going to Tulum, bro. And I'm like, yo, this about to be big, bro. I'm ready. Sign me up. Like, where I pay the deposit. So I was like, that was super dope. And I'm glad we got to go. And ultimately, it was a beautiful thing because to be able to take that many amount of people out of the country, considering everything that was going on, all the moving parts, and that just shows like how much people rock with y'all, how much love is really there. And so I do like always take my hat off to y'all for that. So when we look at that, I need to hear from y'all. We want to hear from y'all as far as like, how do we decide on like we gonna get married, but then after that, like, where did it come from? Like, hey, like we gonna do the destination thing, and then how do we like pick Tulum?
It really didn't even take long. I feel like after we got engaged or whatever, like it's not that we automatically started planning, but right after we got engaged, like we did legit say like, oh, like where are we going to get married or what are we going to do? And I remember being on the computer and looking at places in Mexico specifically, and we literally had pulled up Dreams Tulum, like without even really knowing anything about it. And then it kind of just like, went in the background, and we didn't really plan the wedding for a while because it was kind of like shortly after, well, I was still pregnant. I was still pregnant or whatever. So we really wasn't into the wedding planning then. But then after kind of got settled and stuff after Gigi, then we got a referral for our travel agent. And so then we basically told her like, well, we kind of already stuck on Mexico. And so she was like, okay, well, I don't have to do any other places as far as for like breaking it down for y'all. And I'll just look at places in Mexico. And so when she sent back the breakdown that she put together for us, Dreams Tulum was literally on that. I was like, oh my God, that's the place. That's the place. And when we got married at like our actual ceremony on top of the rooftop, she had it up there. And I was like, that's the place that we pulled up, when we were looking just randomly. And I'm like, that's crazy. So we legit just kind of like focused on that place after we got all the details and stuff. And yeah, like locked that in. And she did all of the reaching out and coordination. And we didn't really do too much until it came time to, was it 3 months before the wedding? Or was it? Yeah, it was 3 months before the wedding. Yeah. It's when their wedding planner at the actual resort reaches out to you directly to actually start like planning your details for your ceremony and for your reception and everything like that. But as far as for like wedding planning, like doing the most or whatever, I didn't have to do a lot. I did do stuff in the background because we brought a lot of stuff from here over there or whatever. So I was doing like a lot of ordering, and then of course the dress and bridesmaids and all of that type of stuff, like all of that background stuff and all the little whatnots. But as far as for having to get vendors and stuff, that was like, piece of cake because we were doing destination. So our travel agent, Kendra, who is Kendra, what is it? Kendra agent, Kendra Travel Co. and Company. Kendra Travel. We'll send it out. So y'all can post her information as well. We want to make sure we give her recognition. Kendra Travel Co. Yeah, because she definitely did a good job of putting everything together and reaching out to all of our guests once we got that together, keeping the email list up, and that was just a lot. And so I definitely wouldn't have wanted to deal with that. Absolutely. And also I want to add that in the beginning, we were thinking like, oh, do we need an actual wedding planner? Like, do we need a wedding planner here, plus a travel agent? But then when we kind of reached out and got some information on that, we was like, well, no, that's kind of irrelevant for what we're trying to do, because the travel agent basically is your wedding planner. And when you get to your destination, you have a wedding planner because you're paying for that in the package. So some people probably do have a wedding planner if they want somebody, I guess, like very close to them in the process. But our travel agent was literally the person close to us in the process. So yeah, you really don't need a wedding planner on a destination, in our opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the travel, if you have a wedding planner, they'll probably try to throw out to you, like there may be like a language barrier or something. But in all truthfulness, unless your wedding planner has been to that resort, it's really not going to serve a huge purpose as far as like, I mean, if anything, you would just be paying to feel better, in my opinion. In our opinion, you would be paying to feel better. But if we're looking back at our wedding and look at everything Victoria did for us, who we highly recommend if you can get Victoria at Dreams Tulum. She was incredible. If I just don't, we just didn't see how, even after the wedding, she did everything for us. She made sure all our stuff was in the rooms, made sure my tux was steamed before the wedding, her dress, like, what more can you ask for? You know what I mean? And everything else was just, is coordinated, is included. She helped us even save money with recycling, flowers for the reception. I was just like, because that was one thing when I proposed to Tasha and we did have that conversation. Like, it was literally, it had to be that day or the next day. And I just, I do weddings, for a living, and a lot of times, we like to go out, show out, and a lot of times weddings cost $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to feed people that ain't gonna show up. You know what I mean? And that's just, I ain't talking myself out of a business. I'm just being realistic of what our expectations are. When I brought that up to Tasha, it's just like, I didn't know how she would feel about destination, but she just jumped at it. She was like, shoot, I could do that. And we didn't even have a location in mind. We was just talking, you know. And I think I might have threw up Haiti one time because she's from Haiti. And she was
not
right now. It's not I mean, if you know what was going on in Haiti at the time last year, like the year before that, you'd be like, not the best time for the country, you know. But we just both was just set on Mexico, you know what I mean? And our family, you know, even the process of trying to convince people or let people understand, like, hey, you do not have to be there, but we gonna go, you know.
So when it comes to, like, I know people that have asked, of course, a lot of people have asked, like, well, how was destination wedding planning, or just like deciding on that, and what made y'all do that, or, you know, was it easier, was it cheaper, and da 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 da. Like, yes, it's the best, but of course, it really just depends on the person's, like, well, the couple's situation as far as for like family and. You know, can everybody travel? If, like, are you a close-knit family? Like, will everybody show up, even if you were staying in the States, type of thing? So that played a big factor, because it really just depended, like, okay, like, I got family or whatever. Joy has family, but, like, as far as for our immediate family, like, we knew our immediate family was going to show up. So that's kind of what we were banking on. And then all of our close friends and all of our friends connected or whatever, like, people had already kind of expressed. And of course, if they couldn't come, then we understood it was no hard feelings. It was just more so that when it was time to make that deposit, and you had to send that money because it fit, and you let it know because it wasn't no hard feelings. But yeah, because we don't need that stress. But yeah, so it's literally like just dependent upon, like, case by case basis. Like, okay, plenty of people like, I wish I could have a destination wedding, but my grandma gotta be there and she's not getting on the plane, or my daddy, he's not gonna get on the plane, like my auntie or whatever, like, you know, stuff like that. But
you'd be surprised who's gonna get on that plane. You know,
right? So that really just kind of plays a big part in deciding if you can or cannot, even though ultimately it should be, and it's going to be up to the bride and the groom as far as for where they're going to get married at, if they're going to even have an actual big wedding, small wedding, or go elope or whatever. So we really just tried to stick on, what do we want to do?
Yeah, we did not expect for 63 people at, like, we had more than that was on the list, but we was being like, you know, out of 63,
we was being friendly.
Yeah, out of 63 people, like, we probably thought maybe 40, a good 40 was gonna be there. But, you know, I think that we definitely, because it was a lot of first timers like me. That was my first time going out the country. I mean, Bahamas when I was a kid, but that don't really count to me.
I mean, it's his own country. It's close, but it's still his own country. So
it's not that thing. You know what I mean?
Don't let our Bahamian brothers hear that now. You know,
I'm being real though. I didn't need passport back then. This is before the passport thing came into play. As long as you had your parent, like, I was 12 or 13, so I didn't have to have a passport. So it's just like, this is my first time going through the process of getting a passport. You know, I listened to Tasha a lot when it came to certain things, because she has been out the country a few times. You know, and I had not. So this was definitely something that was exciting, because it was like my first time getting my passport at the same time as our daughter got her passport. You know, having friends who've never been out the country be on top of their stuff. Like, nah, like, I know, you know, because it was an experience, and I think that was the biggest thing for us, was making this an experience for everyone. You know, and it's kind of not setting a bar, but just like, don't count yourself short, because a lot of the money that you're about to spend to have a wedding locally, you can have a destination wedding and have it affordable and have it be a week long, you know, not just a day, you know. And I think that was my biggest thing, was just doing weddings. I wanted an experience that was going to be more than just the day of the wedding. A couple of hours, having to rush through that whole day. And then, you know, it's just like, for this was like going to be something just fresh and new, and just, it felt good, you know, like, you know, I mean, and I will say one more thing to be mindful of is that we were very blessed that we did not have any time, because I think that hurricane, the weather came through the week, like, it was right after our wedding. It started getting real messy out there that following week after y'all left on that Monday. Yeah, it rained. It rained pretty bad for like 2 days, I think. So, you know, that's something to be mindful for if you are planning a destination. you do get a cheaper price if you do hurricane season. You get a small discount. I can't remember the percentage, but every penny counts. You know what I'm saying? And that was just pretty much our mind state. We was just like, nah, we're gonna do this. Like our parents would be like, try to throw in there every once in a while. Well, y'all sure y'all don't wanna be positive.
My mom was excited. She never been, she's been out the country, but she hadn't been out the country in a minute. So she got her passport early.
Tasha people was on it
early. Everybody was on it now.
Everybody was on it. I'm like, as far as my mom has her passport. She's done this before. But my dad, he didn't come. But he don't fly. He was like, I mean, I'll catch a boat or something. Maybe y'all can
We're gonna have a boat. We're gonna have a carnival just dock in Tulum.
Yeah, we be at Cozumel, bro. Yeah, come pick me up.
Meet me at the dock. I get off for a couple of hours.
But the people that don't come, it's okay because they can still help you out financially, And I think that was another thing. Like, I mean, with any wedding, it's all a village effort to pull things off. So, without the help of family and friends, the people that we had there, it really helped everything just come together and be a vibe, Even it's just
plus the gifts and stuff that you get, like post wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
That also is just like, okay, you might have spent a little bit of money, but you're kind of getting it back like $100 for real.
Man, they treat you nice out there, man.
So that's and it's really too like people automatically just having the idea that destination wedding or whatever out the country, that's gonna cost so much money or whatever, where you're staying here, you're paying $25,000 and stuff for a wedding. Because you're literally having to outsource and get all of these separate vendors and stuff, unless you go somewhere that's like all inclusive for everything. Because at one point I kind of almost had a switch, and we were just okay, we can just go look at this place next week.
Oh yeah, it was one of the venues.
It was a place
that I worked with.
Because I had went to a wedding expo, a bridal expo, and so it was like looking at wedding dresses and stuff or whatever, pre-wedding. And it was just a whole bunch of different vendors there trying to like get you to come over to the table and stuff and sign up with them and da-da-da-da. And it was a place that was there that was letting you taste test their food because they included the food, the actual venue, like the decorations, like the flowers, everything, da-da-da. And so I'm like, oh, like, yeah, it's all inclusive, but you can also like take away stuff and make it cheaper. And I'm like, oh, so I brought that to Troy's attention, but come to find out the person that was there had already met Troy anyway from a wedding that he had did there before. And so we were actually slightly thinking about, let's just kind of look at this if we did want to think about staying here. But that went away fast, and we was right back on the way for the destination.
Just price wise, like it's because that's just the literally the building and food.
Yeah,
and that's not including vendors. Like to do a wedding is a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of moving pieces. And I would say even for our wedding, only thing that I was concerned about bringing outside of or just having was just like, okay, well, I want to make sure we got like I'll just use 2 people from the groomsmen to do video. And I know that the resort is going to cover our ceremony, and most resorts be a little iffy on people doing the ceremony anyway, because it normally will come included in the package. So I do suggest like anybody that is doing destination, if you do still care about your content and having good content that's not 1080 but 4K, like you need to still outsource and bring somebody to come with you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And even if you spend $5,000 to fly someone out, that's cheaper than paying an additional $7,000. And you know how resorts do. They give you a certain amount of pictures. You got to buy the rest. They give you a certain amount of video. You got to pay another $3,000-$4,000 or something to have them do the whole day. And it's just like, that's something that you can't control. You can book them a room. You can book them to book their flights and just pay their fee to cover for the day. And you're going to have a good, solid content. That's the only thing that I would suggest when it comes to destination weddings is making sure, you got some good people covering that. Like I said, we got blessed. Like our photos came out fine, but I even went back. You know me. I went back once they sent those photos over, and I was like, "No, I'm about to touch these up." And I touched up all our wedding photos. You know what I mean? But that's just, this is something that I do.
Right.
So smart. And so like we changed our invoice up a couple of times as far as for like when our wedding planner over there sent back like our final invoices, because like I said, they reached out to you 3 months before to start planning. It was just like that was kind of overwhelming though, I will say, as far as for when she sent that packet. But it was all broken down, like, you know, each section, like what colors do you want for this? This is what's included in your package, but these are all of the other options as far as for add-ons. So you can quickly spend a lot of money if you keep on adding stuff. But I kept on telling myself, and you know, of course, Troy's like, whatever you want, but kept on saying, like, you know, the destination wedding in itself is already the decoration. It's already the decoration. It's already the decor. And for real, the ceremony is only going to be, what, 30 minutes or less.
30 minutes,
if anything, we may want to put a little bit more into that. And so we did spend a little bit more to add, like, for our DJ package and the like, what is it, the lights and stuff that came with that package.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, that was dope.
The sparklers, the cold sparklers, and
you know how much cold sparklers cost here? A lot. A lot, thousands of dollars in America to have somebody come out. We had it with the package, a blessing.
And we paid for like an extra couple of hours for our reception, for open bar or whatever, like stuff like that we knew that especially us and our party would appreciate, because we wanted to go a little bit longer with the reception or whatever. We knew that the ceremony was just, that's the ceremony. That's the most important part, but it's going to be over within a couple of minutes.
Right.
That, boom, we're going to have a good time. So we just had to like really strategize and keep on going back to the drawing board. So, okay, this is how much our balance is looking like right now. What can we take away? And then like they wasn't even greedy, because our wedding planner, Victoria, she would actually like give us insight and say, well, hey, you know, like you can remove this and you can do this and it'll be cheaper. And we was like, thousands of dollars.
And bringing our own stuff over there, like our own easels and
we had a whole suitcase full of stuff that went directly to the wedding.
Yeah, so they stopped. It was funny because we got everybody else was coming through customs, but we had soap made for y'all. Y'all remember the soap bars? It's natural soap, but you know they was white and they was wrapped. So we flew into Mexico with white wrapped bars in suitcases, and it's heavy, and you know they pulled us to the side and empty our suitcases out. But you know that's something to be expected, just bringing anything into the country. Of course, it was soap, but you know it's the blessing in that is that you get to have things for your wedding guests. You can fly all of that stuff over, and you just gotta play. If you have a good wedding coordinator at the resort you're at, and really pay attention to the reviews. Also, Tasha got into those chats.
I was in a group. I was about to say that too. That's another thing that helped me, because I connected with other brides like automatically once you reach out. Or my travel agent told me like, yeah, go ahead and join this group on Facebook. So I was a part of the Dreams Tulum wedding, like for the brides, and so all of the past brides was in there, the ones that was about to come up, and the people that were after me. I'm still in the group now, and so like I was able to share my experience. I looked back at other people's experiences. And trying to like figure out how you do this or whatever, because at first it is a little nerve wracking. Like, how in the heck are we going to get all of this stuff over here that I need, including a wedding dress? Like, how do you travel with this stuff? How do I travel with the 18-month-old? Gigi was about to turn 18 months, literally that Saturday after the wedding. I'm like, how do you do all this stuff? So I'm sitting here as it gets closer, we're YouTube and stuff, looking at videos and how to travel with a toddler, destination wedding packing, like. Do I carry because they said, do not pack your dress under, on the plane or whatever. Like literally carry it on, carry your tux. We had some issues with some of our layovers trying to tell us, no, like you need to go and check that. I'm like, not checking that.
I ain't checking nothing.
Like you ain't tell her to check her stuff. No.
Yeah. Or the captain's closet.
In the captain's closet.
Right.
I was blessed both times that we switched planes. They let me put my dress in the captain's closet. The first one was automatic. The second one, the guy at the, what are they called? Like the
people that check you in,
actually like check you before you get on the plane. He was just like
the gate agent.
The gate people, like they don't
so
they don't
have
a closet. You have to check that, or you have to check one of those bags. He was just very arrogant and just wasn't trying to like help it all. As soon as I got on there, the captain was like, "Here you go." Like literally just saw me with my dress and was just like, "Let me move this over for you." And let me put my dress inside of his closet. So we were cleared on that. On the way back, didn't matter. You smush that thing in there. But in the suitcase,
yeah, because you come back lighter. I mean, half the stuff
Definitely.
For sure.
you leave is just for the wedding. The only stuff we brought back was the prints that I saw when we came in, like with Welcome to Our Wedding and Toast for Thomas.
We still had some soap and stuff, but
yeah,
we had the decorations because we ain't like some stuff we left with the resort. If Victoria could use it, our wedding planner, we left some stuff with her. But a lot of stuff we did bring back or whatever, but it was just easier on the way back. It was another thing that I was going to say. Oh, so if you didn't want to bring stuff with you, you could also mail stuff over, like ship stuff over prior to you coming. But then it was also like the risk of something getting lost or
stolen.
It's a whole different country.
So
you don't make it out of custom.
And the cost of
it's gonna make it out just to somebody's house.
Right. Like everything had to make sense with the process of planning and with the money being spent, the decisions and stuff that were made. Like everything had to make sense. It may have all sounded good at one point in time, but if it didn't make sense money wise, we're like, can we do without this? And so we would go back to the drawing board. And then when we got our final invoice, we was content with that. Yeah. We went to go put that card. I'm like, we about to swipe this? Yeah, we about to do it.
I still got the receipt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got it on my phone. I scanned it.
Yes,
but that's so dope because I think it's important to know, like, as you know, Matt and I got to attend the wedding. It was a dope wedding, you know, it turned out great. It was a good time. And so the beauty about it is like y'all didn't get caught in the hype, and it was like, hey, like what makes sense, what's economical, and still we can still have a good time with our guests, right? And so I was just blown away by like just the one thing that stuck out to me was just how cool the resort staff was. And I'm gonna tell this story. Tasha probably gonna kill me, and he's probably gonna kill Troy, but it's cool. It's cool now. We can laugh about it. No, we can laugh about it now. But you know,
okay.
We all talked about
No, we didn't talk. Well, she probably forgot.
Yeah, but you know, there was a great point that you brought up, Tasha, about like carrying stuff on because me and Matt got stuck in Egypt and they lost our bags and we got our bags back on the last day, right?
Yeah.
So, but while I was at y'all wedding, me and Troy was talking like a week before. He's like, "Yeah, bro, like I just did this wedding. Like the groomsmen almost got in a fight." I'm like, "What happened?" He was like, "Dude forgot like a part of his suit." I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy, bro." We just laughing. Yeah. So, you know, we all having a good time. We at the resort. And I go upstairs just to get my stuff to start getting dressed. And I'm like, where my pants at?
Ooh, you giving me anxiety right now.
I was asking where Joc was for like 2. I was like, yo, anybody seen Joc? Damn, what is this man at? I didn't see him. God. Like, man, I think he get dressed upstairs. All right, cool.
No, that man was on a mission. Listen,
let me tell you this. I'm like, they're like, he upstairs. So I'm like, my pants ain't here. What the hell is going on? So I started thinking, I go downstairs like, bro, I can't find my pants. They're like, all right, everybody's just calm. They're like, all right, cool. So they're like, we're just going to think real quick. I'm like, all right. As I'm doing that, I run over to the desk and I'm like, hey, I see the staff is wearing this color. Do y'all have any extra pants? So the dude's like, hold on one moment, sir. I'm going to call some people. So like he's calling all around the staff. He's like, yo, we need some pants for this man. This is the size he wears in the room. So I go back to the room. He brings like 3 pairs of pants to the room. It's like, cool. I'm like, these ain't gonna work. So I go downstairs and then Brenton walks up and Brenton's like, hey, what's going on? And Troy's like, man, Joc ain't got his pants. So I'm like, yeah. He was like, bro, I got some extra ones. I was like, what? He's like, I got some extra pants. They sent me some pants that was too big. I'm gonna just give you those. And I got my other ones with me. I just brought them just in case. So it's like, go grab my drum. He brings them. It's like, Joc, go try them on. Come out. Boom, they work. So we all like, this is like, right, bruh.
Right.
This is like the worst. Like, when I tell you, like, my heart dropped, I'm just like, bruh, like, I'm sitting in the hallway. I had to, like, stand in the hallway before I go in the room. Because, like, damn, I don't know how I'm going to tell Troy this.
Oh, yeah. When he told me I wasn't tripping, though, I was just like.
And this is like hours before the wedding, though. It wasn't like.
It was just.
At least it won't last a minute.
Yeah, but it was just like, he made an effort to. He went to find other pants, and then Brent just so happened to just open a slide door, like, what y'all talking about? What's wrong? Right. And then boom, like, Joc don't have no pants, and he was like, man, I got some 42s, but they stretch, and the 44s, but they gave me the wrong size. I just kept them because I was like, well, I might as well bring them, and I was like, thank you for bringing pants that don't fit you. Because that's I'm telling you, that's
But it really does happen more often than you think, because even when we watched we was just watching other people getting married at the same resort before we went, and it was this couple that's actually live in Raleigh. They got married. That like I don't know the girl personally, but I followed her on Instagram just so I could be nosy in the sense of what's going around.
Oh, okay.
But they're from Raleigh, and her husband on their wedding day did not have his pants either, and so their videos on YouTube, and it literally shows like the moment where he's like, I don't have my pants. I don't have no pants. And then they did something, one of the groomsmen or somebody, like he ended up having some pants for the ceremony. So it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. I was just like, man, we gonna figure this out, man. Like, you know, and Joc is, of course, like him being the tail, like Joc is always the responsible one, least likely to leave anything. So it's just like when he told me, I was just like, dang, I know it took a lot for him to even say, bro, I don't got my pants, man. So I wasn't even tripping, and I just felt like something positive was going to happen. It was just such a good day. Yeah. And yeah, man, like that just shows you, man, it was just a line to go down, man. Like, and I mean, just everything, just everything from like we had a guest that didn't come for a reason, and then LaMarcus just happened to be in Tulum.
Oh yeah,
and he basically covered the expense for that person. In a sense. So it was just like things just worked out. He was like, man, actually, I got a nice brown suit that I ain't even really.
He had just went. He was in Mexico for another.
Another
event that was actually their colors for that event was melanin colors, and so he already had a suit. But when we found out that he was there, it's like, you should just come to the welcome party. You know, we was talking. We were like, well, he here in Mexico. Come to the wedding.
Yes, come to the wedding.
And LaMarcus had the time of his life.
Yes, man. I think that's what made it lit for us, man, because that was the goal from the jump, was just everybody just having a good time, seeing people being able to just kick back, stress free. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Everything is there for you. Like, of course, ultimately, and I know that our travel agent had put that in the emails a couple of times, like, yes, this is your vacation as well, but remember, it's your vacation, and you're also coming to celebrate the people that you're coming to celebrate. So, like, just making sure that you keep that in mind, not being selfish or whatever. Like, yes, it's your vacation, you paid for this, but you came to this specific location to celebrate these people. So, literally, give them that type of energy. That's why you're there. And then once you've given them your time, go do your thing and have a good time and enjoy the rest of your stay or whatever. So man,
63 people being on top of their stuff, and everybody where they need to be on time. It's a blessing, man. No incidents, nothing. Just a good vibe, bro. You don't really, especially in the wakeness of even when we took trips off the resort, right? Just being safe, and I highly encourage anybody that is doing destination wedding. You can reach out and do all of that stuff to the resort and save yourself, a few pennies if you want to. But we highly suggest everybody go get a travel agent that has done destination weddings before, because it's not just getting married and having that set up. It's the transportation from the airport to the resort, because when you get off that plane, see, like everybody, come. You don't know what's going on. You being overcharged and stuff. You know what I mean? You could be getting in a car that's not nobody. You don't know anything. You just take the word for it. Oh, streams. I know. So so it's just like that was a blessing just to be able to get off the plane. Oh, we need to go to this section over here. Cool.
And they waiting for you. What's your name?
Yep.
With your name right there, and you good to go, and you feel safe. You know what I mean? And also traveling with a smart group of people, because I think the night before I was just like, I kind of wanted to lead a resort for the ladies, and we gotta go off and do our own thing. But fortunately, we didn't go do that. I don't question how life works. We couldn't get no taxis that late. That might be for a reason. You know what I mean? So it's just like really moving with people that's smart, respectful, being respectful to the locals, being respectful to the staff. Make sure you tipping the people that come and bring you your food, because at the end of the day, they are looking out for you, and they don't get paid that much. You know what I mean? So, just being prepared. Like I said, I really trusted Tasha on a lot of the prep because she has done a lot of this before, and also her taking initiative because groomsmen ain't got no chats. Groom ain't got no chat. You know, her reaching out to the brides and following other people and coming back with those ideas, and then cool, like we just buying everything we need. And yeah, the last thing was just that last payment when we got there, you know, and just, you know, just being able to do that is a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and the resort wasn't tripping off of trying to make us pay before we got there. I think did we pay a deposit or something?
You had to pay a deposit.
Yeah, we paid a deposit, but it wasn't a lot though. And it was just like, hey, you come, you don't, hey. You know, you know, it worked out.
Keep that deposit.
It made us feel safe with spending that amount of money with them. And, you know, I mean, from the time you came in with the bar right there in the main building.
Listen.
That
view, glass of champagne,
and that beautiful view all the way back to the ocean. Come on, man.
I feel like that's my home. Like, I can't wait to go back. Like, and then another thing to add, like, destination wedding, like, pros is like that can be your honeymoon. Like, some people literally, you know, destination wedding, got married there or whatever, and then they go somewhere else. That's perfectly fine. But I mean, hey, we had our parents there, so we kind of just did our own thing after everybody left. And even though we had our child there, it's not like we had to have her with us. And so we still had our like alone time. And then we said, okay, we can even like plan another trip right after or whatever. We got wedding gifts and funds and stuff. We can use that towards that, but they don't went anywhere yet. But 1 year anniversary will be coming up or whatever soon. So if anything, I don't know, we would plan to go back to that same exact resort right now, but we do want to go back and visit because it's almost just like a home. Like they literally was catering to our group. I think they were just so excited that our group was there.
Man.
Like you just knew when y'all left. Like
man, it felt so empty.
Listen, our group was the vibe.
Man,
brought the vibe, was the vibe. Listen, I don't think we left any tequila for that resort after we left.
Y'all took over the pool, like y'all literally
took over the pool, the club, the restaurants,
y'all left
everywhere.
I'm telling you, when y'all left, it was so quiet, bro. It was just empty. Like it was just wild. It was wild. Like, you know, it rained for 2 days after y'all left. You know what I mean? I was like, dang. But yeah, we definitely.
It rained because Tulum was just sad we was gone.
Exactly. You know, and of course, you know, the only thing, and I think this is don't matter where you travel, probably, because I think Tasha probably agree. But the only thing that to keep in mind when doing destination weddings is that the food on the resort is not going to be like the best. You know, it's Mexico, and you know you can't go to Mexico and be like, I'm gonna go eat Italian food. They got Italian restaurants on the resort and stuff, but you know, I think there might have been maybe 2 good spots. The Chinese spot was straight, and then the grill, the shore grill, shore shack or whatever. What we had to do.
And some food that we had like for the rehearsal dinner. Like, I mean, at our wedding, the food was okay. Like that first little appetizer, I was good on that. But then the actual food that we chose, like all of that stuff came with the planning process too. In that form that we had to fill out, like we choose in the package for the we chose buffet for the number of people that we had. It made sense or whatever. I think it might have just automatically been buffet for once you went over a certain number of people because we actually went over.
Yeah, we did
with
actually.
our
23 people.
Our package or whatever. So we had to like pay a little bit extra for each person. Because the package that covered all of those people was out the season or something. Like it wasn't offered. Right. We had missed it by like a couple of.
Because it was the secret. It was the secret guard. Was it the secret garden package or something?
That's the one we got.
Yeah,
the secret garden. But it was another package that would have covered like more people. But our package was legit like the best one still overall with the stuff that was included. So
facts. Like, listen, I would say any fellas that are not just getting married. Like when you get married locally, and as you can kind of use a lot more of your resources when it comes to planning the wedding. But I would say like if your wife or fiance is more of the travel expert, like just take heed and just kind of listen when it comes to things. Like I really didn't have an issue with that when it came to it because like in my mind I'm like, dang, it'll go harder if we had the reception outside. But Tasha like, but hey, it's gonna be mosquitoes. We already outside for the ceremony. It might be wet outside. Like if anything, we need to. And I'm telling you, that was a blessing that we had that we like. You know, switched to the ballroom because we were gonna remain outside at first, and once again, her just taking time to do research, connect with other brides, and just find like, you know what? No, it could be hot and it could be muggy, and I ain't trying to button like that. And I was like, bet.
I connected with another Black bride in the chat,
Yeah.
and she sent me her whole invoice and everything. Like she was from California. She was from California, I believe, and she was just like updating me because she was getting married, of course, before us, and so like she was sending me all her stuff, and I was like, dang, your invoice is high as crap. Like they was spending some money. I was just like, girl, like they added grapes and stuff to the ballroom. Like, girl, my wedding look good as yours, and we ain't spending much, but okay. But like, no, she was giving me all the insights and stuff.
And then they had that floor too. That floor was crazy.
Yeah,
expensive.
like the dance floor.
The dance floor, yeah.
Personalized.
It's dark in there.
Like y'all gonna be lit. Y'all not even gonna pay attention to that floor. Like it's like they said, half of the stuff that would even be like details to us, people wouldn't even realize it. Like I didn't even get to realize some stuff from being there because I was just so overwhelmed, like positively overwhelmed, that I just forgot to look at certain stuff or forgot to take this picture or do that or whatever. So it's it's just really like the moments that matter for the most. But connecting with the people. And thinking about like the hairstyle, like what's gonna work. Oh, should I wear my hair down? Should I wear it in a bun? Is my curls gonna fall? Is it gonna be good for this? Like it was so much stuff, especially being a Black woman. That's another important thing to consider or whatever. Because it's different. Like as far as you're going to a destination, you're gonna be outside most likely, like literally having to think about how certain stuff will react in the environment. So I connected to that lady, and I'm glad I found her. And so she came back and told me her review of things. She was like, girl, them bugs was eating us up and like blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, my experience, outside, right? But she was just talking about in general being on the resort. But I didn't get bit at all in Mexico at all.
I didn't really see no mosquitoes that time of year we were out there.
The only thing I saw was them big old lizards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, those lizards was out there.
But I did not get
just hogging up the walkway.
When I was in Haiti, I got tore up.
Yeah, I think we chose a good time of year. It was like I said, it was towards the end of hurricane season. So we less likely for impact, but also like we didn't have to deal with a lot of like bug problems. The only thing that was a little weird was on the beach. I ain't never been on the beach at night, but they had like them little beach bugs. It was when we walking the beach that night. They looked like little tiny crabs, but
and they be like crawling at nighttime.
Yeah, I was like, what's on my feet, yo? And I was like, we weren't even supposed to be we weren't supposed to be walking,
because it's like turtle eggs or something.
Yeah.
So they walk on there.
I think you brought up some very good points, right? When we talk about the destination wedding, and Troy had even mentioned that for a lot of your guests that it was the first time them ever going out of the country, right? And so being able to provide those opportunities and just creating the experience, right? Because it's one thing, to go to a wedding. People go to weddings all the time. But to create an experience centered around your wedding was something that I know for myself I took away, because you all's wedding was my first destination wedding ever attending. And so just being able to...
He was our MC.
Oh yeah, they gave me my first job as an MC.
Moses with the mostest.
Low-key was the DJ.
Right.
He started turning on that music. I was like, hey, man, hey.
But just having those experiences, right? Like, so walk us through, like that process of those persons who had never been out the country. How did you communicate, right? Because there's so many questions for people who've never traveled abroad, right? How do I navigate through the through the airport, all of these things, right? The passport process, right? And so how was it, even with Troy, like how was it with you even, getting your passport? I know you said you didn't wait, you didn't do it ahead of time, but you got it done. But just that process leading up to you all's departure, flying out.
We had that on the calendar. Easy and for Troy, and like, we go ahead and make the appointment online so y'all can go in and get it done. And that was like real smooth. And they sent that off. And, of course, during that time, and probably even still now, they were saying like stuff was supposed to be backed up because of COVID and stuff. But theirs came back really quick, because I know my mom, when she had sent hers off, she had sent off before y'all. She had got hers back kind of quick as well. And so we was just like, well, definitely let's not wait. And so, yeah, they were clear, good. But other people who did have to get a passport, Kendra, our travel agent, she made sure that she put emphasis on that through her email connections. You know, once we sent her our guest list and our possibles of, you know, who was going to come, and more so just like the preliminary, like, okay, we're inviting you, we're considering inviting you, and so this is the information for the trip. So you send your deposit by this date, and you will become a guest of the official, you know, wedding or whatever. And so Kendra, like, she put all that stuff together, and she had that included like in almost every email, you know, talking about the importance of, if you do not have a passport, then you're not going on this trip. Like, you have to send that off like ASAP. It's like she can't do anything about that. Like, if your passport is expired, like, please go get that handled. Like, literally giving you the breakdown of what the evidence was showing as far as for turnaround time. Like, she had all that stuff included. Like, we didn't really have to drill into people. I mean, you know, personally, if we talk to somebody like, did you get your passport or something like that? But as far as for like sending information, our travel agent, she handled all of that overhead stuff. And just, you know, making sure, because then at one point, I'm trying to think, did they have to give passport numbers? Did we ever have to give our passport number to her for anything, or to Victoria?
Yeah, when she booked the travel.
Yeah.
She
needed our passport number.
Tasha did all of that. You know what I mean? All of that,
He over here talking about,
I don't remember.
Troy just said, I just showed up and went. It was time to go to the airport. I was there.
We had to actually have our passport number, and the insurance and all of that stuff. Like, she did all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And some people try to, you know, do their own, but I'm like, that's the whole purpose of having a travel agent. And like, yeah, you know, it could be some communication barriers here and there or whatever, but she just wanted to make sure that we were good overall, and our outcome was amazing. So.
Yeah, the only time I really had to say anything is if I had to hear Tasha mouth about something. So I was like, I'll get in the chat, like, you know, I'll get in the group in the chat and be like, man, come on, man. Damn, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, all y'all had to do is this. It ain't that hard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm basically complaining how somebody else is talking to me in a sense. So it's just like, but it's true though, you know.
Somebody else.
Yeah. So it's just like, so it's like, if I gotta hear it, y'all gotta hear it. But it would just be things like, yo, come on, man.
Like, I got the measurements yet, bro.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna get fitted. Y'all ain't send them sizes in. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You are putting somebody else's life in danger.
Yeah, you know, but it's just like, and I think that would be the only thing that was stressful as far as like everybody else that would come. And that's why I said booking the right travel agent is important, because you know, people say they're gonna come, you put their name down and add them, and you block off these rooms. And
that's,
you know,
another thing. Real quick, what kind of rooms you gonna block off? Like, are you gonna do a block, or are you just gonna do boom, everybody do their own booking, which is like the risk of that resort might sell out. Yeah, and then you don't have any rooms for all of you.
You should definitely block off rooms.
So depending on how many people you have going with you for your wedding, then I guess that plays a big factor. And of course, we had a big number for a destination wedding. So it just made sense to have a block of rooms. So, and then of course we get our little perks and stuff too, but it also will put a little bit of pressure / responsibility and eagerness to go ahead and pay your money and pay things on time, because we are in contract basically with this resort.
And no deposits is non-refundable.
So, like, because if you're just telling people, oh yeah, go ahead and book or whatever, you know, you got time to book, go book by this date. Everybody don't live the same, and everybody is not responsible when it comes to finances and stuff. So they may pay on the very last minute, and then it's going to be like, y'all, it's showing no more rooms available. It's showing this, like, we can't help you there, because
it was people that swore they were coming to our wedding like 2 weeks up to the date, like, hey, it's on the 23rd or 24th. I'm like, you're not even on the list.
You're not even going.
You're not even going. But in their mind, that's just how people think. Like time just revolved around them. Yeah, and it's just like, man, listen. I before I got married, I asked God to remove people, and I'm not saying people that wasn't at the wedding, because that'd be like removing my father, right? But I was saying, like, but he told me straight up from the jump, hey, I'm not coming. I got y'all though. but I don't do planes.
Said I'm not getting on that plane.
Yeah, and I respect it because he has never done it. So I'll be like, you know what? At least he said he's not coming. But you know, like I said, as far as like people that want to be there to celebrate with y'all, they will be there. You know, I think yes, it was exciting because you get a chance to go to Mexico, but it was just like I think a lot of people that came, it wasn't just for Mexico. It was like I get to be there to see my boy. I get to go there to see my homegirl get married and have this union. But at the same time, I get to do it in a different way that I probably may not get to experience. You know, a lot of people, the way our culture is set up, a lot of people will not do destination because it has to be so symbolic of where we're from, our roots, you know, certain things. But, you know, we got to remember just how we was taken from our culture. You can always take your culture with you. So, you know, you can bring this. Yeah, you can bring all these things. Her pop was there. Mr. Saint Fort was there. You know, and that was beautiful. Seeing him get to walk his daughter down the aisle, hand her off to me, see the ocean, man. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's cool, right? Like what you alluded to, right? Like, you know, the people that's gonna come are meant to be there, right? And I know Joc and I was talking about it a little earlier this week when we were prepping for this episode, and I was like, well, I think he might have said, like, what's the process of figuring out the guest list? I said, well, the guest list gonna figure itself out when it comes time to pay that money.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm sorry to cut you off, Matt, but you made me think about something as far as for how do you figure out the guest list. Kendra helped us with that as well because called it the A, B, and C list.
Yeah.
And so you basically would like write down your have to be there people. They must be here. The B list is they got to be there too, but you know, it's kind of like in the middle. And then you have your we want these people to be here, but we understand like it's almost like that A list. If y'all not there, it's gonna be questioned.
Yeah, like we're really. Yeah.
But ultimately, everybody that was there, we was happy that those people were there. We were satisfied with our guest list for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the most important thing about that, and how Kendra broke it down, was just saying like having people there that represents group of people or time period of life, etc. So even though, like for instance, like all of our line brothers was not there, but I still have my line brothers there. You get what I mean?
For sure.
So, same for Tasha. So it's just like just to see the line. You know, of course, like Tasha graduated before I graduated. You know, y'all graduated before I graduated. Well, Joc did and Scrap, but still seeing the connection, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just real beautiful, man. I mean, you can't make it up. You know, we just watched our wedding video again. Was it yesterday, the day before? And we was just looking at other people's wedding videos. You know,
and everybody like their theme for the wedding was Shades of Melanin, and everybody came and was dressed in their melanin, right? and we all look great.
Y'all really did. So like literally just small stuff like that, those type of details. I'm glad that we made like the Facebook group, you know, slightly before we left, just to kind of get those last minute and like those in between details and stuff as far as for like what we wanted for our people or whatever, and we wanted to look a certain way, and you know, just like those type of details or whatever, making sure you have some type of form of communication. And
for sure,
everybody's here now. This is our way of communicating, and I just feel like, you know, with our group of people that went, like that group of people, even if some people didn't know each other, like everybody is still connected. Like, hey.
Man, listen, we be out, right? We could be at any function.
And
if you was at that wedding, I'm saying even if it's people that wasn't there, it's like it could be a big party, right?
Oh yeah.
If you was at the wedding, it's just like the Tulum crew is gonna link up and we gonna we be turning up in our own little section. They be like, dang, like they not vibing with nobody. It's just like, man, we know how to have a good time with just each other, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we just was at somebody else's event, and it was just like, dang, there's a lot of people here from Tulum. We just started turning up. It's just a natural good energy, man. Like, I mean, I can't replace those moments. I mean, even I was shocked my grandmother was there.
Right.
Man.
She trying to keep up. She can't keep up though.
Man, the only thing we was blessed, she ain't put no dashiki on because she'll wear dashiki.
Oh my god.
So yeah, man, that was man. And like I said, that was my first time as an adult being out the country. I think my very first time was supposed to be for Joc's birthday when he went to Canada, but I just, man, that once again, passport, having to travel. It's crazy, you know. I didn't know my middle name was spelled different than I had been spelling it my whole life, which is why I didn't get my birth certificate mailed to me because they kept saying it was incorrect. And I'm looking at the paper like, bro, this is my name. And I had to drive.
You're not who you say you
are.
And
it's like, you know, these are things to think about, you know, if you don't have your passport, you know, like we don't travel every day. You don't need your passport every day, but when you need it, it should be.
It's one of those things where it's always good to have, right? You may not use it every day, but you never know when somebody gonna hit you up like, "Yo, let's go here," and just to have it, you don't have to go through that process of trying to go get it.
The mindset and the mentality,
right?
It's no longer just like waiting for stuff to happen. You need to stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready.
Exactly. Yeah, because you end up spending more money when you got to get ready.
Exactly. It's just like an overwhelming feeling, and oh my god, I gotta
and then you be like, you know, I'm just gonna stay home.
Yeah.
That's how the folks was 2 weeks out. Talking about some, hey, what's the date? Hey, King, don't even worry about it, bro.
When blue or melanin, what's melanin?
Hey, listen, man.
I'm in Ferguson right now, bro. You said melanin.
Listen, I love my people, so we ain't gonna say no names. But some of the stuff that was being sent in, and then
don't even do it. Don't do it.
But it's always one person though. It's always one person that's gonna bring something that you told them specifically not to bring. so it
all worked out. Though.
62 people wore melanin. 61 years.
Well, we didn't.
Yeah.
You're counting them too.
Yeah, so 58 people wore melanin and 2 out of 61. And it was 2 because the messages just wasn't relayed, right? But other than that, they didn't mean no harm by it. It's just, if you know the person that didn't wear the melanin, you'd be like, oh, that's something that he would do.
That's ridiculous.
So it was all good, man. I think, like I said, the most beautiful part about it for us was that we got to really enjoy that build up. I mean, even before the wedding, having to pull Johnny out the damn the phone party. Because we was getting ready all day. Wow. Johnny did a phone party and stuff, going crazy. I'm like, bro, the wedding is in like 3 hours. I got you. I got you, G.
That's ridiculous.
I got you. He's like, I'm just stand up for a second. I got you, G. So it's just like, it was just seeing people basically be in that kid mode. It's good, to see that youthfulness come back.
And the rehearsal that we had too, because that was the day, like literally the
second
day,
man.
And we was all in the pool and stuff, and in the water, and we like, all right, y'all, 15 minutes, and here go Paris, like, we're gonna be on time, y'all. We gotta meet up there at the roof, on top of the roof or whatever. We got 15 minutes, T-10. Paris, the main one. No. She wasn't late to the rehearsal. She was late to the rehearsal dinner. Yeah. But to that, I think I got on Joc too, because Joc was still in the water.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody was ordering shots, and they was like, "Yo, we about to take one more shot."
I was like, if y'all don't.
Joc said, "Mama ain't raised no quitter. I got to get this last shot in."
I was like, if y'all don't bring y'all to the
man, we was just so tight up.
Waiting on us.
Victoria was just up there like she gets it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like she,
y'all having a ball.
But but like at the end of the day, everybody pulled it together, man. And when I go back and we watch the wedding footage, man, it's just a vibe, man. You know what I mean?
It's
like
a story.
It's dope, and I definitely encourage. We encourage if destination is something that crosses people's mind, like it's really not that out of our reach.
Yeah.
People feel like just because it's in a different country that. I'm telling you that what we did out there would have cost us probably like 50. I feel like 40 grand here, $50,000 here.
Yeah. Don't let nobody like talk you out of what you want to do, because of course people will say stuff like, "Yeah, I mean, if it was me," some people that may have already they're already married now and they had a wedding or something. They're just like, "Yeah. If I could do it over again, I would just went to the courthouse." Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead to the courthouse or whatever. Okay, girl, go when you get home.
Right.
But okay, that's nice. But don't like try to put your experiences or I don't know, insecurities, whatever it is, on other people to make it seem like as if they're going to change their mind when we're already set.
Yeah,
we're ready to go.
We was set. I think I had to have one more serious convo with my mom and my brother, and they had to I think at that point they realized like, okay, this man is locked in. He's not. I ain't saying they ain't say I was delusional, but like, yeah, I mean, listen, y'all can do this. Get this land, I could get such and such. Yo, well, this is the type of problems you're gonna have because y'all want to get married in Mexico. People ain't got. Hey, well, listen.
They had a ball too.
Look, they ain't want to have a ball.
Had a whole ball.
Hey, I was in that pool every day.
Out here, man. But that's what I tell people. Y'all gotta experience. Y'all have to experience life, man, to realize how easy it is to do it in a sense. And I think, like I said, for us, it was just like, hey, listen. If y'all can't make it there, we know 20 people that's gonna be there.
Yeah.
But we would love for some of our immediate family to be there if y'all can. But if y'all don't come, we're not gonna hate y'all. Just make a donation. You know what I'm saying? If you're really not gonna come, and that's how you really know.
And if you care.
Yeah, and if you care, you know what I mean?
It's not even expected. Like, we didn't really ask nobody for gifts or anything. Some people just, have that automatic mindset mentality or whatever. Like, you don't show up to a party without a gift, or you don't show up to a baby shower like that video that was viral when the lady was pregnant and she was just like, if you don't have no gift, go home.
I felt it. I felt it. I was just like, you can't. If you're a part of a village, and sometimes a gift could be just your presence as well. But like I'd say for destination anyway, because you still have to come out there.
Right. But we made sure we said that in the chat. Like, we're not expecting you all to give us any gifts or whatever. Like, y'all literally are already paying to come to this wedding or whatever. But if you do, hey, well, of course we're gonna expect.
We appreciate you. Like,
but as far as for our wedding party and stuff, like, people who helped us, like, no, we didn't expect anything from y'all. Like, we gifted y'all to be a part of our wedding. But if they wanted to give us something, of course we would accept it. But it's just like what's the word I'm looking for? I got mom brain right now. It's
you talking about
the way of life, the word for way of life. It's an easy word. No. I can't think. Y'all help me out.
Is it an R?
I don't know.
What's it called when you recycle the love?
It's just like the way
reciprocity, reciprocation. What are we talking about?
It's the proper thing to do. Give me a word for that.
You just said it.
That's a phrase.
No, I mean,
the proper thing to do for certain.
Yeah, Kyra and Shar was our wedding guests, but they got married that week before us. They got married the day before we flew into Mexico, and we still did our business to make sure that we went to their wedding. We're able to give to their honey book fund, or I think they might have had their barcode up, and then we saw them 2 days later. They flew out. It was their honeymoon, but they still stayed for 4 or 5 days, I think. So it's just like, just stuff like that. Just I call it reciprocation, like just practicing reciprocation. But but hopefully that inspires whoever out of our friends get married next. They probably want to do destination or something. But regardless, we're gonna always try to make sure that we support anybody that is doing destination, not doing destination, but we get it if you do want to. And I think that we just wanted to show, like, yo, y'all could definitely do this. Like, I just threw it out as a suggestion. I swear I didn't think Tasha was really going to bite at it. Like, I just knew she was going to be like, because, we got to have these people there. But she really was just like, shoot, I like that. I ain't even,
it fit our lifestyle.
It fit our
my lifestyle, like, as far as for people who I know would come and who wouldn't come and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, like
for sure.
Yeah. So we encourage people to explore your options, especially when it comes to spending money, because the most that you probably will be spending outside of paying for your wedding is just making sure that you have people there to capture your media. Other than that, everything is all inclusive. And then you can still
have the option to literally not even do that and just use what's
use what's there
that you're already paying for. So you can have a wedding that's between 10. You can pay. You can even go if you don't have that many people. You can
$7,000
and get everything included at a destination.
Yes.
Some perks with a travel agent as far as for, like, we got our flight for free.
Yeah, actually, we got $1,000 credited back to our flight.
With our travel agent, different perks that come back. Like, it wasn't that we didn't have to pay out of pocket at first, but it got credited to us after the fact once we once we fulfilled other tasks, I believe, then we got that credited.
Yeah.
So it's like different things that if you want to do it on your own, you may not get that same experience. So like I said, travel agent don't really need a wedding planner. Not shaming wedding planners at all, because obviously if you're going to have a wedding,
you need a wedding planner, yeah,
for sure. But the travel agent was the wedding planner that connected us to our wedding planner at the destination.
Mm-hmm.
And they take care of everything. That's their job.
They are very highly skilled and trained, and they want to make sure that you have the best day. Even some things that were there at the reception, like we didn't even pay for. Like Victoria, she added certain things there that I know for a fact that was not on the invoice. Like,
yeah, Victoria is incredible, man. She really like. I ain't have no complaints, man. Like everything was just smooth. And then we also had our massages the next day that was given to us by the resort as well.
It was in our package.
Yeah. It's so much included in your package, man. So like I said, like the package we looked at originally started at 7,000, but of course
almost 7.
Yeah, almost 7,000. Yeah, and then when you add on the extra 21 couples, because then that's 63. The extra 21 couples. Then you add on the extra food.
We could have probably just been paying like $10,000.
Yeah, we would have paid less. We probably would have paid less than that. You know what I mean?
We didn't go too much over.
We didn't go too much over that. We probably. We doubled it, maybe.
We definitely was taking stuff away, because at one point we looked at the invoice. We just like, we don't have to pay all of this. Like, we can remove something, and that's when we started kind of eliminating things. And we're like, okay, this is a good number. We'll stick with that. So you can definitely have a wedding under $20,000.
Yeah, and I would say like a wedding that you would do here for 20,000 would be for a day and
a couple of hours.
Yeah, and you wouldn't really have much, but you spend that same 20,000 and go out the country. You're gonna have everything: your wedding, your tux, dresses,
vacation, everything.
7 days vacation.
Basically being catered to.
Yeah, being catered to, treated like royalty for 7 days of something. You know what I mean?
They were so personable, like even by name. They all learned Gigi's name. They're like, "Oh, hey Gigi, hey Gigi, hey Gigi." Every day we leaving out the room, "Hey Gigi." They were very personable, and so like that just made it even better too.
Yeah.
So
parts of the experience. I know we talked about we didn't cover or need to cover.
Y'all did a great job of really just touching on things, because I think it's important that people know. One of the things, like y'all realize, like we are like the generation who's like the gap, right? Like we are breaking generational curses and cycles, right? And so it's like we all got like some of our parents' generation where it's like someone just ain't gonna travel, right? Like my dad, like bro, like that man, he ain't getting no plane. Like it's like
somebody just said, no, the Bible said, "Lo, I be with you always."
Everybody got a cousin like, cuz you got charges, you can't go out the country, but we appreciate you, cuz you ain't coming on this one. But and then you got people that's looking at us that we got younger relatives that is like, hey, like I just thought travel was unattainable, because I just always think like it's gonna be super expensive. And then when you really get there, one of the things I did like about, because this is my first destination wedding, one of the things I appreciated about it was the fact that like as we did, like we had a payment plan, so we were able to pay in installments.
Exactly.
Because I'm a payment plan person. Like I need to, you know what I'm saying? And so that helped out. And then once you got there, we didn't have to spend a lot of money because everything was included.
Yeah. Now if you want to go out there, if you want to go out there and spend that money outside the resort, they're gonna tax you, because we're American, we're tourists. They charge you. But on the resort, everything is free. I mean, you pay for it.
You pay for it,
but it's like, listen, you can
besides for tip money, like
room service is 24/7, bro. I mean, any time of night you can. I just couldn't.
It's mentality.
Yeah,
like you said, you can't really change everybody's mindset and like environment that we may have grew up in, or like just where you have not been, and just having that mentality that like it's not attainable or whatever, but it is. And also you can't change people's mindset. It's like, they're literally conditioned to automatically go to, out the country, planes, Mexico, wedding, as a whole bunch of money.
Right.
Like, let me think of how can I save, like have a good time or whatever, enjoy myself and celebrate with people, and utilize the payment plan, because a lot of people didn't even really spend that much. Like, I don't know, y'all want to share how much y'all spent or whatever as far as because you had the option to choose different rooms, and so you had
and
you
it was
get a
split
basic room, exactly split amongst the people that was in there. You get a basic garden view room. Some people wanted to literally enjoy the trip as their vacation, so they may have upgraded to an oceanfront, ocean view or whatever, but a lot of people got basic garden view rooms and still like, enjoyed their room or whatever.
Yeah.
But their bill may have been a little bit cheaper because they just wanted the basic or whatever. And so look, we had a whole breakdown and outline from our travel agent as far as for what rooms everybody had. I'm like, oh, like their payment plan gonna be kind of easy peasy. I don't know their financial situation, but that's definitely attainable for the time period that was given as far as when we pay the deposit and now the payment start. Like we had a couple of months or whatever to get that stuff out there. And I'm like, you live within your means while still being smart about it. Like,
right. And I think
it definitely hooked some people up with upgraded rooms. Like just off the GP. Like,
because we definitely had an upgrade that our travel agent did for us. And because we were even being smart. We had got a basic garden view room because we came in a day before y'all. So we had a garden view room booked for that day that we came in up until the actual wedding night. So we wanted to switch over like, oh, honeymoon, now we got a different room, oceanfront. And so that's what we want to do. But when we first got there, they checked us into our oceanfront room. So we had it for the whole time. Yeah. And that's what, so we didn't have to pay extra or anything. Like she did that for us.
Yeah.
Which is perks.
Yeah, it's perks. Planning everything at a good time. And especially that time of year, the resort's not going to be fully at capacity.
Right.
So, you coming in at the tail end of hurricane season, they're definitely gonna accommodate you. Like I'm telling you, when y'all left, it really felt like there was nobody there. So, I mean, like I said, our room was straight. Kara and Shar was technically celebrating their honeymoon, so they got upgraded to the joint with the drapes on the master. Yeah, I was like, we should have got that.
Yes. Chantel got a break in her room too. My sister, she had one of them nice rooms. She had the room that was overlooking like the main area where we met up at like almost every day for like with the World Cafe outside and all of the fire ring dancers and stuff. Like she had that balcony room like overlooking right there.
Nice. Like, her room was so nice that it didn't even have a number on the door. I kid you not.
So yeah, it's like they was definitely showing out.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree that everything is obtainable with proper planning. I think that's one of the biggest things that we try to promote on our podcast is that travel is obtainable, right? It just takes proper planning. If you get PTO, making sure you use those days wisely. But it's not as hard as you think, and it's not as expensive as you may think. So
yeah, because I think our in the garden view room, like even though that was the where you first started as far as like the room level, like the garden view was dope because it had a view right to the courtyard and you could see the pool where we were from. So it was real nice.
Backyard in the back.
Yeah, it was real nice. Like I really enjoyed it. And I think we only paid like $1,300 for the room.
Yeah,
and
I think we did like it was
like
$680 a piece for the room. Yeah.
So when we knocked that down in like 3 payments after the deposit, like it was affordable. And the our flights weren't that expensive. Like I flew Southwest straight in out of Houston, and I think my flight round trip was like almost. I think I paid like under $300.
Same for me. I got my flight going.
It is.
Yeah, I bought my flight going to Tulum or to Cancun from LA. I bought that with points, and then on the way back, I only think I paid like $125. So,
oh my god!
Yeah, I forgot they get a little closer to the border.
I'm not. I'm further away.
Rolling up on that thing.
Yeah, but sometimes like what I did do for this trip, like I bought a one-way because the one-ways going there were super cheap at the time, and then I circled back and bought my other one coming back. I think I used points on that.
People did do. I think my sister did.
That's smart.
Yeah, so it worked out pretty good. And so once we got there, once we got to the resort, like we weren't really spending money unless we went off the resort.
And we flew in a couple of days early too. So we went to Playa del Carmen. So we explored there and then we came down to Tulum.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely will be going back within the next 1 to 2 for sure. Like we definitely want to go back. I think we might. I don't know. we could decide if we want to try to risk it going back during that time of year.
What you mean around the same time?
I mean, yeah, just as a hurricane season, I don't want to get caught in the rain out there, but it's just so much, man. Like even outside, like because I know we've been on here for a minute, but even outside of the resort itself, like being able to visit the Mayan temple, you know what I mean, and the ruins. I mean, the ruins. Going to visit that, swimming in the cenotas. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Out there with the bats and stuff, you know, riding ATVs.
Oh yeah, that was fun. ATV.
You know what I mean? Like just experiencing life, having real authentic Mexican food from the streets of Tulum.
Yeah, for sure.
Like these are things, and then also like there's other things you could do because we did go to Tantra and what's that other? What's it? Taboo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's now I will say like now you go in there, you want to make sure you got your ducats in a row. It's an experience, but
that's all it is, just an experience.
Yeah, it's all it's an experience, but you know you definitely want to go with at least like 10 to 12 people. That, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean that food was like that.
Oh no, we was going in. Everybody was going in.
Yeah.
Yesterday's price.
That's just experiences like off of the resort. You know, the resort itself is an experience, and they always have something new every night.
And I didn't even see everything. I didn't even get to go to the gym on the resort.
Yeah, they had like an outdoor gym. We didn't even get to.
What? Not Spunky V didn't go to the gym.
Actually, don't even make me feel bad like that. I literally saw somebody on one of the wedding videos on YouTube. He was watching ours the other day, and they was working out at that gym.
We'll go back to the gym. Yeah, and last thing I will say is please pack sunscreen because when I got back, my skin was peeling. Really, I was like, I
got burned. Look,
burned. Yeah, I was like, damn, I'm itching.
I know we be trying to say we don't need no sunscreen. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
out there, the sun is just out. It ain't really nothing missing you. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
the sun
why
is
I had my black girl sunscreen covered daily.
My dumb self was putting lotion on.
You just baking.
I was baking.
You got some shoulders, man.
Man, I'm telling you, that's what was killing me.
It's over with.
You feel me? But yeah, like I said, listen to the woman. If you're traveling with the woman, with your woman, listen to the woman, whatever, when it comes to traveling. Because normally, or just double pack what they pack. Because they're going to pretty much have everything they need for survival. And, you know, us, we just like, man, I need some shorts, some boxes, a lot of socks, and some beaters, and I'm straight, you know. But
pack of white tees, bro, we out.
Pack of white tees, yep, treated like Beach Week back in 2010, you know what I mean? But having a good woman that help you prepare is a blessing, man. And that really, like I said, this is my first time out the country as an adult, and just having someone who's familiar. I really didn't have an issue when it came to listening to my wife when it came to planning for Tulum, as well as listening to Kendra, listening to Victoria. Like these are like I don't know how many times I gotta say it, but when it comes to stuff like this, listen to the woman, man, and you have no worries.
That's it. Well, we definitely appreciate y'all like sharing everything. It's been super helpful to get y'all perspective on just doing this. And once again, like it's dope to see, you know, the union come together as we saw, and then also just take 63 melanated folks outside the country and really just shut stuff down. Like that was dope. Any last thoughts? Anything you would leave with anybody else who's thinking about a destination wedding as we move forward?
Do it.
Yes, and when you do it, make sure you book Thomas Photography and Film to come do your destination wedding, because this is someone who's been married, destination,
and does
weddings. It just makes sense. So definitely. And if you're not booking me, like that's the only thing I would suggest is just spend that extra money and
a cinematographer,
and bring a cinematographer.
It's a big difference in the way that it looks. If you want your wedding to like look like an actual movie when you're looking at it, all the times that you're going to look at it, it definitely plays a big difference in just like looking at a slideshow.
Yeah,
you know, them little
no shade,
video, you know, shakiness. I don't like that. You know, that's
sometimes photography, and then book Spunky V as your coach for the brides. You know, so you can get right.
Right.
That's my last words, but just do it.
Yeah, definitely do it. You will not regret it as long as you follow the steps of planning, having a travel agent for sure. For starters, travel agent, plan out payment plans, and making sure that you are in contact with a good resort. And like Tasha did, reach out to brides from that resort so you know what you're getting into before you get too deep into it and you can't pull out. So, you know, like us finalizing our decision was her reaching out to other brides, communicating. They all had good feedback, and that really made us feel so much more confident with trusting Victoria, of course, we trusted our travel agent. But yeah, the planning is the most important of any destination wedding.
And having somebody that would also help with that was having somebody that actually had been to that resort. Because Kendra had actually been to that resort and she had real photos. Because, you know, of course, when you're looking at the advertisements and the online photos, it can look one way, but it can be totally different. She had firsthand photos and videos that she sent us, like of the locations of the spot where we actually got married at for the ceremony. Like she had all of that in her phone and sent to us. So that made it even better to go ahead and lock in that specific place, because you got a real live human being that's been there and not just through what you're seeing from all the fancy editing.
For sure. Definitely. For sure.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It was actually 60 melanated people. 3 of them.
Goodbye, Troy. I'm done.
I was like, hold on.
But I heard.
No, actually, I'm tripping. It was really 58. It was 58 melanated people.
But, you know, if we count like Victoria, her help, you know what I'm saying? Like, then we good. You know, they melanated too. So yeah, we got.
Yeah, we had some people that show love to us that we really rock with, that were also not melanated.
That were Caucasian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So shout out to those 5 or 6.
We had a ball,
man. They all turned up. You would have thought they were melanated.
Boy, we had a time.
Right. We had a time last night.
My voice was forced at my damn wedding.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out our wedding video though. It's on YouTube, Tasha Thomas. Or all you have to do is type in Dream Tulum Wedding. And ours will be one of the first wedding videos that pop up. I mean, it's very few wedding videos that look like our quality. And just keep in mind, like I did that with a team of just 2 people and work with what the resort gave us. So this is, if this shows anybody anything, like not working with the bare minimum, but just working with what's in your means and what you have, you can definitely make something out of it for sure.
Dope.
Yeah, we'll make sure to send us the link so we'll drop that link for y'all so that y'all can also click on that as well, because I know I'm a visual person as well. And that'll be super helpful. But I did get a chance to watch the video. It was dope and it brought back a lot of memories. So it's like, all right, I like when the next trip. Before we get out of here, we did want to take a quick little moment to holler at y'all. We got a couple of questions for you. We're going to do this or that before we roll up out of here, you know. So we got both of y'all here. And, you know what I'm saying, both of y'all can answer, you know, but we want to hear what y'all got to say. So to kick it off, of course, we just, you know, talked about mezzo. So we're going with the guacamole or salsa?
Salsa.
Salsa. Yeah.
All right. Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Why are we going with the gram?
I don't even have.
I'm locked out of my Twitter account right now, and honestly, man, it's just.
I haven't used Twitter.
Yeah, I can't be on there just having no filter, man. Just like, you know what I mean? I can't do it. Facebook, I say what I want to say, but sometimes I have somewhat more of a filter on Facebook because my mama up there, my grandma up there, you know.
Just Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. Twitter, I haven't used that in years.
Twitter's it's a very dangerous place, and it's a lot of weird stuff up there.
Twitter was the era back in the day. That's when I was using it, like
2012, 13, 14.
Remember them hashtags? Them back in the days at Shaw.
Yeah.
Rich? Would y'all rather be rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown.
Oh, y'all trying to hide the money.
Yeah.
All right, so when y'all make it, don't forget about us, all right?
Nah, for real. I mean, even going out to eat here, it's like, I mean, or just going out, every time somebody just be like, you know, they don't know me, or don't I know y'all? Didn't I see? We're not famous. We just well known. I'm just saying, I couldn't imagine having that all the time, feeling like somebody always watching you. Oh man, I'll lose my mind. I'm good.
Last one for y'all. Would y'all rather do the vacation or the staycation?
Vacation right now. Vacation. Vacate me. Vacate.
Tasha said she ready for a vacation. Tasha, where you trying to go next?
You said would I rather do a vacation or a staycation just in general, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to go on a vacation.
What's the difference?
A staycation is where you stay like in your city, you know, like you just book a
my bad.
hotel.
I'm thinking we going on a vacation, but we gonna stay.
What the?
My bad. I was like, I want to stay.
Troy,
Yeah, facts. Vacation.
It's a clear day. You can land.
I want an extended vacation.
Definitely vacation.
Yeah,
vacation. Troy said he thought staycation meant extended stay.
We gonna go and stay.
Well, yeah, you are.
We're not leaving the same day. We coming.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like we took like a little trip to the beach. That's like a staycation. Like you just drive down to the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, we did a staycation in Raleigh when we were dating. We literally did a staycation in North Hills at the literally over there with the King's Bowling Alley and Stir Restaurant, all of that is, and we just kind of went around there like we were somewhere else, and it was fun.
Yeah, staycations are cool, but yeah, we need a vacation now.
For sure.
I need a vacation.
Yeah, I don't want to see nobody.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you all for chopping it up with us today. We definitely enjoyed the conversation, and we hope that our listeners, our travel fam, listening, that you will pull the gems from this episode. That if you are in the process of wanting to plan a destination wedding, listen. You heard it from the Thomases themselves. They said do it. So so we definitely thank you all for taking time out of your schedule and talking with us today. So we're ready to wrap things up here. Joc, you got anything?
Yeah, before we get out of here, I do want to give Troy and also Tasha an opportunity to let them know people where they can follow y'all on social media if y'all want to give any of y'all handles out and that good stuff as well.
Sure. So you can follow me at my business page is Spunky, SPUNKY, Vigorletics, VIGORLETICS _LLC. And my personal page is VST _Saint Fort, STFORTEEN. As you know, it's like Saint Fort and then Delta, then 14, because I'm 14, Tail Club, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Tail Club?
There. So yeah, Spunky Vigoletics, LLC, and DST 14.
You can follow me on Instagram at Directed by Troy for my personal page, as well as and you'll know that's my personal page because it's verified now.
I did see the check mark. Let me find out.
That's another topic we ought to talk about another time. But yeah, my page is verified.
It's not bought either. It's earned.
Hey,
it's earned in real life, but no, I pay that $15. No, for real. I mean, but I'm verified in real life though. But I really, it's more security reasons. You're doing good business with me. My page is verified. It means my ID had to be scanned and made a metaverse, as well as the following system and analytics. I'm more likely to gain business and traction. So I looked at it as if it was a Netflix and Hulu subscription, or any type of other subscription I use for my business. This is just something that will help me just stand out as far as like, hey, this is a real page for somebody who is really a real person, and we're not just gonna take thousands of your dollars and not do your project. So that's kind of what pushed me for that. And then also my business page is Thomas Photography and Film. Thomas Photography LLC on Instagram. Facebook is Thomas Photography and Film LLC. And if you happen to be on Fanbase, it's a new app that Isaac Hayes III created, where content creators can get paid. It's directed by Troy on Fanbase as well. And TikTok is directed by Troy.
Dope. So make sure you please go out and follow Tasha and Troy and support their businesses. Also, if you have not already followed the Travel Hour fam, you can find us on all social media platforms at the THEE Travel Hour, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the platforms.
It's gonna be on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Apple
Okay,
Podcasts.
cool.
Yeah.
Add that to my channel then.
Make sure that y'all connect with us. Leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave a comment if you're on YouTube. Give this video a thumbs up, and always subscribe to our channel so that you can keep up with us when we post new episodes. Joc, where can they find you at?
Yes, sir. So you can find me on the gram, THE_Zigster, ZIGGSTER.
Yes, sir. And you can find me on Instagram as well, according to TO and not the number MP. And you can link in and we can connect there. So, Joc, I think we've done our due diligence for today. Thank you again, Tasha and Troy, for joining us for our episode. And we're going to catch y'all on the next episode.
Most definitely.
All right, absolutely, man. Keep up the good work, man. Godspeed, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we out.